A major winter storm is on its way from Texas all the way to the mid Atlantic. Let's talk about that. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ham Shack TV. I'm your host, Josh, AA4WX. We've got a very dangerous winter storm situation that is developing. Let's get straight into the details. But before we do, don't forget about the Ham Shack TV store. If you need ham radio equipment, prepper supplies, anything like that, boy, I just put that in the way. The Ham Shack TV store has it. Go check out amazon.com/shop/Ham Shack TV. Appreciate you doing that. All right, let's get into the details here. Big time stuff going on. Here's the current look around the country. We've got some rogue snow showers with some northwest flow coming across Kentucky and Tennessee right now. Not expecting any major accumulations from that, but you see we also have some other northwest flow type snow showers all the way up and down the Appalachians, and got some lake effect action here in southwest Michigan, coming off of Lake Michigan. So that's really about it. You got a little clipper coming down out of Alberta into Montana. But what we want to focus on, what our big attention is going to be, is this guy right here. Okay, this is our next system. Doesn't look like much now, I know, but it is going to develop. So let's dive straight into the models. We'll go to the NAM 3 kilometer, excuse me, and take a look. Let's start with the what the reflectivity is going to look like. Now, this is going to show all green. It's not going to show you any depiction of what type of precipitation is. Actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and do this. How about that? Now you can see the depiction. So you see we have some, according to the model, we have snow falling in New Mexico right now. We'll go ahead and move forward in time. Let it all load in here. It takes just a minute. All right. So you can see our low starting to wrap up and move into Texas. And you can see we have freezing rain and sleet breaking out all across central Texas. And then up into the panhandle of Texas, into the Oklahoma area, we have more snow breaking out, while we also still have a big cold front, reinforcing shot of cold air coming out of the plains into the Midwest. We move forward in time here, and you can see this two systems are phasing together right over Oklahoma. Oklahoma's going to get socked with some snow, folks. I mean, it's just going to get socked. System is starting to lift out into the Mississippi River region. We're in western Arkansas and western Missouri at this point. This is Thursday at 10 o'clock is when this actual image is valid. And then let me zoom in just a little bit here so you can get a little bit better view of some of the cities. You can see down in southern Arkansas, we still have freezing rain. And just to the east of Little Rock, we're seeing wintry mix, some sleet, that kind of stuff going on. Down here into Texas, southern Texas, from Dallas all the way down to the Rio Grande, throughout the most of the state of Louisiana and Mississippi, we are seeing just the plain Jane liquid cold rain. We'll move forward in time. Here we are at 7 a.m. on January the 10th, which would be Friday morning. And you can see we now have snow starting to break out in northern Alabama. You see the pink area from Birmingham over to just north of Tuscaloosa down towards Auburn. You see we've got freezing rain falling back into Mississippi. Pretty much the lower 2/3 of Mississippi are in the rain. However, the northern third, closer to Memphis and Tupelo, you're seeing snow. Western Tennessee, pretty much the northern 2/3 of Arkansas, Missouri, and Illinois are both seeing snow falling as well. We move forward in time. Here we are at 11 a.m. Snow starting to move into eastern Tennessee. Nashville's getting hit. About the big change area will be Atlanta at this point. And if you look, we go in a little closer. This is not good news for Atlanta traffic. I don't know if you've ever been to Atlanta, Georgia, but traffic is awful in Atlanta. We have freezing rain falling. And if you're not familiar with what freezing rain is what it is. It's rain falling, liquid rain falling. However, the surface temperature is below 32 degrees, so it's freezing on contact. So the roads and bridges and byways in the central part of Georgia are going to be very, very treacherous around this time. You can see we've got freezing rain around Gadsden, Alabama, on up to Coleman. But the northern third of the state of Alabama, you're in snow. You're in snow. Florence, Moulton, Huntsville, Fort Payne, right around Albertville, over into Mississippi, Hernando, and Corinth. You're in the snow. However, right around Oxford and Tupelo and West Helena, Clarksdale, you're all in rain. We go back into Arkansas from Texarkana all the way up through Little Rock, all the way up to Paragould, to the Boot Hill of Missouri, Cape Girardeau, St. Louis, and on up through Illinois and Indiana and western Michigan. You are in the snow. We move forward in time. Again, that was 11 o'clock on Friday morning. Here's 12, 1, 2, 3. And we see a little bit of a warm nose coming up right here on the Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama state line. That's to be expected. We're talking mid-afternoon. Temperatures warm during the day. Start to see a little bit of a transition down around the Athens, Tennessee area. Chattanooga, you're in a mix of rain, sleet, and snow. That warm nose rides up to about Monroe County, Tennessee. And then that's basically it. It turns cold again, and now we are at the end of the forecast window. With this particular model, the North American Mesa Scale model, it only goes out 60 hours, so we're right at the very end of it. But you can see we still have snow falling throughout East Tennessee, Western Virginia, parts of West Virginia, Northern North Carolina. Boy, this looks like a mess for Southern North Carolina, from Asheville to Hendersonville to Charlotte, Kannapolis, from Raleigh down to Fayetteville and Lumberton. You got a mixed bag, specifically the pinks, the deeper pinks, the fuchsias, I guess you might call them. That's where your freezing rain is. That's very, very concerning. You can see we still have freezing rain falling in Atlanta. So, oh goodness, it's going to be a mess for the folks, especially rush hour in Atlanta. You can see we still have snow breaking out all over the whole state of Kentucky, on up into western Ohio and Michigan, throughout pretty much most of Michigan, and also pretty much the entire state of Indiana. So you want to know about snowfall totals. Well, we don't have everything yet, so I'm going to show you a couple of things. First, let's go over to the GFS, and we will switch to snowfall totals. This is probably going to be a 10-to-1 event when it comes to snow. So 1 inch of rain would represent 10 inches of snow. All right, so we'll go forward in time. This is a longer range model, so it takes a minute to get everything in. And here we are. Let's go ahead and take a look here. We'll query some of this data. All right, so Eastern Kentucky, talking about almost 5 inches. Get down into Tennessee, we're seeing some 6, 7, and 8 inch amounts. Specifically, my location, I'm looking at about 7 inches here. But you see, we've got a pretty good swath throughout a beltway, pretty much from Memphis all the way up to about Bristol. That's going to be your target area for some very, very high snowfall totals. You're seeing some 9-inch totals right there. So very, very heavy snow for what we're used to seeing around here. We move on further back to the west through Arkansas. You're talking about in places like Pine Bluff and Arkadelphia. It could be over a foot of snow. Back into Sulphur Springs, Texas, you're talking a little over a foot. And then Dallas, Fort Worth area could be seeing 6 to 7 inches. So this is a major winter storm that is developing. Want to talk about freezing rain, though. Freezing rain is a huge concern. Places around Atlanta, we're seeing about 1/10 of an inch of ice, which is very dangerous. That may not sound like a lot, but 1/10 of an inch of ice is quite a bit. So folks in northern Georgia, from about we'll just say from Macon to the north, you need to be aware and have travel plans for Friday if you're getting out into town. Let's go ahead and switch on over to back to the 3-kilometer NAM, and this is just another look at what the snowfall totals may be. Now, keep in mind, this only goes out What in the world's going on with my models? Huh. Let me switch here. And come back to it. Okay. This only goes out 60 hours, so you're not going to see everything here. But here it all comes on in. Now, this is ending. This forecast period ends at 7 o'clock on Friday evening. So we still haven't seen the bulk of this in East Tennessee yet for us. And I'm sorry if I'm a little East Tennessee biased. That's where I'm at. But these are good numbers out here around Memphis. You see this particular model dumping about 14, 15 inches on Memphis. You got Little Rock with about 13 inches. So where are we? This may be overkill. I have a little bit more confidence in this particular model because it's a more of a short run model. However, I'm just wondering if this is overdone it. I mean, here at 7 o'clock, here in my neck of the woods, we're already talking about 7 or 8 inches of snow. So it's tough to tell. But here's your key takeaways, folks. We are going to see a major winter storm across the southern United States over the next 72 hours and beyond that, to be honest with you. Folks in the areas around Northeast Texas, all the way up to the Mid-Atlantic, Maryland, Delaware, Jersey, places like that. These areas need to be on high alert for a major winter storm. Places that are going to see the freezing rain and the heavy snowfall, you need to go ahead. I hate to be this person, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, get your milk and bread. Get your milk and bread. For folks in Alabama, that would consist of a line north of Interstate 20. No, my friend James Spann mentioned that in his forecast briefing video this morning. From about I-20 to the north, that's the area of most concern in the state of Alabama. Go ahead and get your milk and bread and your things that you need to get if you're in this pink area. I think that's going to be a good thing to just go ahead and have that stuff aware. Don't go crazy. This isn't COVID. You don't need to stock up on 3,000 rolls of toilet paper, that kind of stuff. No, this is going to go away eventually. So keep that in mind. Be respectful when you're in the grocery store. Don't give away or don't take too much away. Let other people still have stuff if they need it. You don't want to hoard. So, folks, that's about it for this video. I appreciate you watching. Just be prepared. Again, I'm not a meteorologist. I say that with full disclosure. I have followed meteorology for many, many years. So I'm pretty much, I take my understanding of weather pretty seriously compared to, someone who's not followed it over the years. So, folks, again, if you want to get your ham radio license, don't forget about Ham Radio Prep, hamradioprep.com. Use coupon code HamShackTV for an additional 10% off. They're already great prices. They have the technician, they have the general class, and they have the extra class courses. But maybe you're snowed in and need something to do. Check out their emergency communications course and their HF masterclass. Great stuff there. Maybe sharpen your skills a little bit. And also, don't forget about the Ham Shack TV store, Amazon.com/shop/Ham Shack TV. Guys, appreciate you watching. We'll do another update later on. 73s. This is AA4WX, WSCB 693.